Feeling inadequate or stuck in self-doubt? Transform your inner critic and your people pleaser. Happy New Year, KT family. Welcome to this week's Ritual to Process Life. If you are new, my name is Christina B, and I am your holistic practitioner. And it's a new year and a new you, and we are a culture of progress. And what I mean by that is everyone watching as well as myself, we are into self-development growth and healing on our healing journey, and that we do not compare ourselves to others. I want to make that very clear. Every single person, we're exactly where we're meant to be, doing exactly what we're meant to be doing, and you are on your healing journey. And Kimono Therapy, this group, we are a culture of progress. So now, if you're feeling inadequate and you're feeling stuck, we are actually going to focus on what is called subpersonalities. But before we get into that, when I went to school for psychotherapy, I had to do 100 hours of my own therapy. I had to do 60 individual with a therapist and 40 intensive. It was like a 3-day weekend. I felt like I was literally locked in a room with Dr. Phil. It was transformative. And what I learned during that process was that there were subpersonalities that were unconsciously driving me to make particular decisions in life. Once I discovered my subpersonalities, it was a game changer. So for the entire month of January, every week, each video is going to be geared towards particular subpersonalities. Now, I'm only going to focus on the most common subpersonalities. There are many, but the ones that I've chosen to focus on are the ones that are the most common that pretty much every single one of us has. And the first two are our inner critic and our people pleaser. So how does our inner critic and people pleaser play out? Number one, it leads to overcommitment, resentment, loss of identity, and we might avoid struggles and conflict with boundaries. So the concept came about subpersonalities from a psychosynthesis perspective. And there's a therapeutic approach that Robert Ascioli came across. He is an Italian psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, and he believed that understanding and integrating these parts of ourselves could lead to greater awareness, balance, and personal growth. Now, we are consciously aware, but subconsciously, we are operating from a certain place based on the life experiences that we have and how we're going to react or respond to those things. So our subpersonalities are different parts or aspects of our personality that develop in response to our life experiences. And each subpersonality has unique traits, beliefs, and roles, like I said, such as the inner critic, the people pleaser, our inner child, and so on and so forth. So these parts affect how we think, feel, and behave, and they often work to protect or guide us in different situations. So in a moment, I'm going to guide you through an exercise to get in touch with your inner critic and your people pleaser and find out why they are operating the way that they are. So like I said again, if you're feeling inadequate, having self-doubt, going through this exercise is going to assist you in healing that part of yourself and embracing the positive side of the inner critic as well as the people pleaser. All right, and this exercise is actually called the compassionate observer exercise. Now, if you currently right now while watching this do not have the time to be guided through this process, hit the save button so when you do have time, you can go back and watch the video and then at the end, take notes. All right, for those of you that are ready to take a quiet moment, I want you to become aware that you're going to cultivate awareness, self-compassion, and healthy boundaries to transform your inner critic and your people pleaser. So what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes and start taking a few deep breaths. Make sure that you are sitting in a comfortable position, your eyes are closed, your legs are uncrossed, and just take some deep breaths to center yourself. Now I want you to imagine the room that you are sitting in I want you to invite your inner critic to step into the room. And I want you to imagine the inner critic as a separate character or a voice. And visualize what your inner critic looks like. What is he or she wearing? What is the look on their face? And I want you to ask your inner critic, what are you protecting me from? Let whatever message come or visual come and take note of it, because our inner critic is trying to protect us from something. And now ask yourself, what are you afraid will happen if I don't listen to you? And again, let whatever come, come. Make sure you listen without judgment, because often the critic is trying to shield you from failure or rejection. And now I want you to respond with compassion to your inner critic. Gently thank your inner critic for its intentions and say, I understand you're trying to help me, but I don't need to be perfect to be worthy. Let's work together to find balance. And now I want you to invite your people pleaser in. What does he or she look like? What look do they have on their face? What are they wearing? Just take note. Visualize or feel your people pleaser's presence and ask, why do I feel the need to please others? And let it answer. Ask, what do I fear will happen if I say no? And with your people pleaser, you want to set boundaries. So you want to reassure this part by saying, you don't need to seek approval to be loved. I can care for others without losing myself. Visualize yourself saying no with kindness and confidence. And now what you want to do is you want to integrate and you want to release. You want to picture both of your subpersonalities stepping back and merging peacefully into your heart. And you're going to affirm, I am enough as I am. And I trust myself to create balance between self-care and connection with others. And then open your eyes. Now, if you had a hard time with the visualization, by all means, take time in the future to sit down and go through this exercise as many times as you need to. What's important to do too after this is to journal and write down any insights or affirmations to reinforce your new understanding. And why does subpersonality work? It helps you to build awareness of those inner workings, those unconscious things that we do. And it offers compassion to these parts, and it also creates a sense of harmony. And by addressing your fears behind these behaviors, you can transform your inner critic and your people pleaser into supportive allies. Now, when you can say to yourself the next time your inner critic or your people pleaser comes up, because it's going to happen, here's a few things that you can say to yourself and remind yourself of. Number 1, I'm allowed to make mistakes. They are opportunities for growth. Number 2, I am doing my best and that's enough. Number 3, I am worthy of love and respect regardless of my achievements. Number 4, my value is not tied to perfection, but to who I am. Number 6, it's safe to be kind to myself. It's okay to say no and prioritize my well-being. and I can care for others without sacrificing myself. And this last one, they're all powerful, but this one is especially so. Setting boundaries is a form of self-respect. Let me know in the comments below if you found this information helpful. If you need any further assistance in connecting with your subpersonalities, do not hesitate to reach out to me at kimonotherapy@gmail.com. If you want the quiz, just send an email and I will send it directly to you. In the meantime, let's take a quick moment. Oh, it's over here. I'm usually prepared, but you know. Take a moment to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification button so you continue to receive these messages in your inbox. Next week, we are going to focus on the subpersonality, the wonderful rebel. Okay? Take care. Namaste. Many blessings. Again, Happy New Year, and I'll see you next week. Until then.